All right, folks, in this video, we're going to talk about something that I haven't heard mentioned by anybody else in the XRP community in regards to the Ripple stablecoin coming to the XRP Ledger. So I want to break this down in this video, why I think this Ripple stablecoin is such a big deal. I'm going to point out something that I haven't heard mentioned anywhere else, but then a few other aspects to this stablecoin and the utility coming to the XRP Ledger. If you're new here, if you're trying to catch up to speed, we are covering the greatest transfer of wealth in world history from the current events, financial markets, and then I explain the investments, the business decisions that I am making in an effort of transparency and to show you guys what is possible. I'm not here to give anybody financial advice, but if you appreciate what we're doing, I always appreciate it. If you can tap it, smack it, smash it, do something with it. Or if you're one of those pesky little haters that wants to show up to every single one of my videos, please just make sure that you drop a comment and hit that thumbs down too. Either way, let us know that you're here. We appreciate the support, and let's get right on into it, guys. So much to cover. Let's get into it. COMEX had 2 silver deliveries yesterday. London had 901 deliveries headed east. The TAS had 9,836. Why would that derivative product represent 45 million ounces? This is not a market anymore, and the short position is approximately equal to a year's worth of silver production. This is from The Dude over on X. Now, I dropped a video yesterday, and I played a clip from the CEO of First Majestic Silver, Keith Neumeyer, explaining how the 10 million ounces per year that his mint actually produces, right, that they dig out of their mine and then send to their mint to actually produce and mint the coins and the bars and what have you, right? He was saying how basically these banks and these other hedge funds, they are levered up 400 times every 1 ounce of silver. And for every 1 ounce of silver that's being produced, it is being levered up and traded in the paper market 400 times. So he is saying that basically, and that's what this tweet's leading to right here. This is not a market anymore, and the short position is approximately equal to a year's worth of silver production. They are trading hundreds of times more paper than there is actually coming out in existence and coming out of the ground. This is why we've seen a historical deficit for the past 3 years in silver, and we continue to see that production in countries like Mexico and Peru, some of the largest silver producers in the world, production's actually going down. And gold is sending the signal, silver and oil all sending the signal, in my opinion, that war is here and that the financial situation is not as rosy as they try to paint it. And remember, as Lynette Zhang says, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. We've been talking about utility with no counterparty risk. When you hold it, you own it, and you don't have to worry about owning some derivative. I saw somebody commenting in my last video, I talked about HSBC tokenizing gold using Medico, which is now owned by Ripple, and how basically it's just a paper scheme. And it absolutely is, right? I'm just highlighting the fact that you are seeing more and more of these institutions that are allowing their clients to get exposure to gold. Is that how I want to get exposure to gold or silver? By buying some derivative, some paper scheme product, whether it's tokenized or not? Thank you very much. I want my silver in my vault. And if it ain't in my vault, it needs to be in somebody that I trust vault that's heavily protected, right? And so, yeah, 100%. If you guys are looking to get access to precious metals, you guys already know that I have my affiliates available at my website, zachrector.com. Now, continuing on, Grayscale liquidated Cardano to increase XRP, now holds 16.7 million XRP. Price to surge soon? From coinpedia.org. Bank XRP retweeting it. And here's the deal, guys. So Grayscale Large Cap Fund, they've removed Cardano, and they already had added XRP back in a couple months ago. I see some people reporting on this as if this is new, that they just added XRP back to the Large Cap Fund. No, this happened a couple months ago, actually. And what's happening now is that the Large Cap Fund, there's a larger portion of it, a larger share of it is representative of XRP. Okay, and now this is a fund that I do expect to be rolled over into an ETF eventually. This is why I say there's going to be many XRP ETFs on the way. It's just a matter of who's going to come first, who's going to offer the best ETFs for folks that want to get exposure to digital assets. Large cap fund like this is a great way to get exposure to Bitcoin, Ethereum. They had Cardano, they removed that. I think they got, well, obviously they got XRP, and then a couple other cryptos that make up this large cap fund, a great way for someone to get exposure to the space. And you guys already see the success of the Bitcoin ETF, one of the most successful ETF products that's been launched by Wall Street. They are coming, and this is a whole new wave of liquidity that takes this space to, I believe, over 5 trillion for a combined total cryptocurrency market cap for this bull run. Over 5 trillion is my estimate. You guys let me know in the comments down below, how big do you think that this crypto space is going to get? We got up to 3 trillion last bull run. How far are we going to go this bull run? My conservative prediction is 5 trillion. Now, someone else who's still a little bit bullish on XRP, take it for what it's worth. I'm not here to endorse. I'm just here to take note that we got BitBoy Crypto says he still believes in XRP is the coin with the highest potential for this bull run. I won't be shanking. Well, neither will we, BitBoy, 100%. Whether you are the supreme commander or leader of the XRP army, that's up for debate, but we will not be shaken from our bags. Do you not understand how tied in Ripple is to the real-world asset narrative? That's just an added bonus on top of the end of the SEC case for real. Yep, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's coming here soon. XRP ETF applications, they are coming. We already see them. ETPs are already live in Europe. So I know a lot of people want to say, oh, this is just BitBoy hyping this up, and this got circulating again this last week. And yes, it did get overhyped. And yes, it is just speculation. But with 100% certainty, I can tell you that there will be XRP ETFs eventually in the United States of America. That's a fact. It is coming. Now, Ripple IPO also coming. Right? Whether they IPO here in the United States or not, doesn't matter. And you are highlighting, even the SEC in their own remedies phase filing, right, that they just put out a week or so ago, they even admit to how successful, how wealthy, how big of a bag Ripple is sitting on. Their XRP escrow worth over $25 billion. I've been making the case that they might have the biggest IPO in the history of the world. That's right, folks. That's not hype. That's not sensationalism. Just go look at the maths, right? The largest IPO ever was Saudi Aramco's $25.6 billion. $25.6 billion. That's how much the escrow account is worth for Ripple. So even if you want to discount the escrow, well, that's just one part of the valuation that should be plugged into the valuation model for Ripple, right? Will the market, see that value? Will that value represent and give them the largest IPO? That's yet to be seen, but I think that there's a potential. U.S. banks coming, and this is the deal. We already know that, right? We already know that we got the banks coming. We've already seen banks outside the United States on board using XRP. Now we're waiting for the banks inside of the U.S. as well. Love to see it. Continued development, a huge milestone hit for Zaman, formerly the Zum wallet. 1 million app installs. Your number one self-custody app for the XRPL, number one self-custody app for Zahao, your number one app to interact with the entire ecosystem. Absolutely love it. Huge shout out to Vin and his whole team over there at XRPL Foundation and at basically XRPL Labs as well, right? And I love the model. I know some people don't like how this has happened. I know people didn't want hooks to go to a sidechain. I like the model that we have right now. We have Zahao, we have Evernode, we have Flare, we have the EVM sidechain, we have the hub and spoke model where the XRP Ledger, the mainnet XRPL, stays robust, efficient, and smooth for payments. And then we connect, interoperate with all of these smart contracts around us. I love this setup. Now, I love to see what Easy A app is doing as far as getting developers exposed to the XRP Ledger. Another one, Peter Machona, says, I'm launching on XRP Ledger with Easy A app and Ripple X Dev, learning how the XRP Ledger is now EVM compatible. Love to see it. I can launch any EVM dApp on it in minutes. Oof, love it. I can tap into XRP's huge liquidity and user base, one of the best communities in the crypto space, if not the best. Might not be the biggest, but it is the strongest. I can connect EVM with institutional finance. And I've been saying, guys, we're going to set the standard for DeFi over here on the XRP Ledger. You've been seeing these kids play around with the Mickey Mouse meme coins and the DeFi and all the crap that has been nothing more than glorified decentralized Ponzi schemes. Many people don't want to hear that. That wasn't sexy to talk about during the 2021 bull run when I was saying, guys, these are not going to last. I'm telling you right now that the return that they're promising you of 80,000% time wonderland staking rewards will not last. What happens? It blows up. It goes to zero, just like 99% of the DeFi. Now, What we're going to do over here on the XRP Ledger is we're going to do things the right way, where we don't break the XRP Ledger. We keep it operating smoothly. We connect with all these smart contracts around us, and we literally set the standard for institutional DeFi on the XRPL, and the broader crypto space can watch, observe, and maybe learn a little bit. Now, continuing on, many people in the XRP community don't even realize how big this is. This is from Matt Rosenden. Most of the XRPL community is blind to the developments before them. We have a native AMM going live here next week, EVM sidechain, EVM dApps, bridge protocol, that's XLS38D, make that bridge, build that bridge with every other blockchain that you want. Ripple stablecoin, I'm going to speak on that blueprint that Ripple has now laid out. Decentralized identity, love to see it. Atomic batch transactions, this is only more utility and allowing basically the builders, the developers in these projects to start getting paid more easily and get more users on through atomic batch transactions. I'll explore that in a separate video more in depth. Tier 1 custody providers, and that's what you see with Ripple and the acquisition of Medico. We are entering the growth to maturity arc real soon. This is the momentum that continues to build behind the XRP Ledger community, and as I've been saying, there's many people that don't want to acknowledge what we have, which is a massive amount of utility that is coming our way. Now, as I titled this video, Ripple laying the stablecoin blueprint. I haven't heard anybody mention this, but I thought it was really fascinating. And we talked about this when Palau did their stablecoin, a US dollar-backed stablecoin on the public XRP Ledger, not on the private CBDC platform, but on mainnet XRPL. And we talked about how this was a proxy test for a US dollar stablecoin on the XRPL, and that's exactly what it was. Now we see Ripple launching their stablecoin on the XRP Ledger and Ethereum, which is good because we want to be able to pull that liquidity and have that interoperability. We got the EVM sidechain, EVM dApps. Now we launched the stablecoin on the Ethereum network as well. Pull that liquidity over here, and we want to be able to have that programmability. Got to give power to the devs, power to the builders, right? So we're connecting with EVM. That's a massive deal right there. But I wanted to break this point down here for you guys. So with Ripple launching the stablecoin on the XRPL, this is similar to what they've done with the CBDC platform. And David, you remember him saying, right, you can launch a CBDC on the XRP Ledger in one day. On their CBDC platform, they've made it so easy to plug and play. In one day, you can launch that CBDC. I believe that the same thing is happening now with the stablecoin, where a blueprint, a simple template, plug and play, for anybody who wants to launch a stablecoin on the XRPL will now be able to look at this and say, okay, that's how this gets done, right? That is what Ripple is doing. They're setting the standard for issuing a stablecoin on the XRPL. Now imagine you can launch stablecoins that are backed by all these other currencies. And I've been talking about how I think the on-demand liquidity partners of Ripple's are going to be launching their stablecoins of their national currencies on the XRPL as well. Then they add them to the liquidity pools, and we start to open up these pools of liquidity and really get it flowing back and forth. So I'm talking about Tranglo issuing Philippine peso on the XRPL. I'm talking about SBI Holdings issuing Japanese yen on the XRP Ledger. I'm talking about Bitso issuing Mexican pesos on the XRP Ledger, right? You know, this just goes on and on and on. And we have over 500 institutions that have partnered up with Ripple. We know half of the RippleNet or Ripple payment flows are now going through on-demand liquidity. And so it's basically, we always said, right, that the XRP is the secret sauce to Ripple's products and their offerings, right? You get them on board without using XRP, and then you show them the secret sauce. Well, now Ripple just came up with another secret sauce ingredient that's being added, and that's the stablecoin. And the template that's being laid out is one that everybody else who wants to issue real-world assets on the XRP Ledger, or stablecoins that are backed by gold, stablecoins backed by silver, stablecoins backed by other sovereign currencies, this will be the template. And so Ripple can go to central banks and say, hey, you want to do a CBDC on the XRP Ledger in one day? Done. You want to issue stablecoin on the XRP Ledger in one day? Done. You know, we get to work half the day and we can hang out for the rest because it's going to be that simple. That's why this is so massive. Many folks think that this is a competitor to XRP. That's not the case. This is another solution. And really what it solves is the last mile problem for folks that, you know, need to be able to have exposure to US dollar. And the other thing that I wanted to add too is that really what this does, with all of the US dollar derivative products, and I'm talking about the stable coins, what this does is it actually helps the US dollar maintain somewhat of a reserve currency status, right? I think that the United States, if they were smart, they would take the position of just providing stablecoin legislation, setting the rules for how you can back it, how you got to be transparent with your reserves and all that, right? Come into compliance. And the right thing to do is not to pick Tether, not to pick Circle, not to pick Ripple, but just allow all of these privately issued stable coins that are all derivatives of the US dollar to thrive, right? Because what does it do? It gets more people exposed to the US dollar, which is ultimately what they need if we want to maintain the reserve currency status. Now, as far as our dollar being reset, our fiscal and debt problem, that's another conversation. And I still think that our dollar does need to be reset. And I still think that there's good reason for many people around the world to ditch our dollars. That's why I'm holding my silver. That's why I'm holding my XRP, right? But people around the world, remember, the United States dollar remains the cleanest shirt in the closet. Although the house of fiat currencies is on fire, the US dollar is the cleanest shirt in the closet. And so people still want exposure to it. And this is one way that the US can keep that dominance. So if they knew what was good for themselves, they would allow Ripple to issue stablecoins, Circle, Tether, all of them. It's all derivatives of that same dollar. It's the same thing as going around in all these countries that took on debt denominated in US dollars. It's the same exposure to the US dollar, and that's how you keep a reserve currency status. So I'm interested to see how this plays out, interested to watch who else shows up to the XRP Ledger as issuers of stablecoins. And I think it's just a fantastic time to be here in the XRP community on the brink of full legal clarity, putting this case behind us, massive amount of utility. We get to hand something other than a hammer to our builders that show up to the XRP Ledger, right? We're connecting with all of these smart contract platforms around us. And with the AMM going live this week, the pools of liquidity are about to open up and start building. We're going to start building up that volume and that liquidity flowing. And I think that the end goal, just like David said, we want to build deep, open, public pools of liquidity that anybody can draw from or add to as freely as they wish. That is the XRP vision. It is coming to life, and nothing, just like BitBoy Crypto said, nothing's going to shake me out of this bag. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Everything's at my website, ZachRector.com. You guys have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you in the next one. God bless. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.